Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video I've got two posts from Am I the A-hole, the first one with an update, and one post from Today I Effed Up. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now I'd like to thank all of you that support me, either as YouTube members or Twitch subscribers or even donating during the live streams. Thank you so much for your support. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's from user Sagbradude. Am I the a-hole for getting mad at a friend for changing in front of me? I, 27 male, went over to a friend's house, female 26, because we, along with other friends, planned on going to a local diner. I was really pumped because where I live, this place has been closed for a while and it just recently opened up. I finished my work stuff early and asked my friend, who lives a few blocks away, we'll call her Mallory, if I could drop by early. When I show up, she's still in her home clothes, t-shirt, sweatpants, and that sort of thing. We still have an hour left before we head out, and she tells me she needs to finish some homework related stuff, so we end up chilling in her room. Now, here's a little background on both of us. She's pretty conventionally attractive, but our personalities don't match, so nothing ever sparked and we just stayed good friends. With 30 minutes left before we leave, she starts undressing and getting ready right in front of me. This caught me off guard, so I just covered my eyes and said, "At least ask me to leave the room." She started laughing and brushes it off, saying it's not even a big deal and she doesn't see me that way. I'm paraphrasing. I tell her that neither do I, she's still effing topless, but that doesn't mean I'm comfortable seeing her nude, so I leave the room. I kind of leave it at that and we don't mention it for the rest of the night. We go out and everything seems fine. She then later texts me that I was being kind of an ass and that I made her feel weird about our friendship. She goes on to say that if I truly see her as a friend, I should be able to not sexualize her body. This kind of sets me off because from where I'm sitting, you can't force this level of comfort with a friend. So I basically tell her that I'm not suddenly going to turn gay for her sake and that she can ask me to leave the room like a normal person before she decides to go full Queen of Dragons. And now my phone is blowing up as our mutual friends are calling me an a-hole. I get that I snapped at the end and my response could have been more mature, but really, am I the a-hole here? Because I'm honestly surprised with how many of our friends are taking her side. No, OP, you are absolutely not the a-hole. What she did was not right. I mean, you felt uncomfortable, that should have been enough. This has nothing to do with sexual orientation or anything like that. You just did not feel comfortable with your friend getting naked in front of you. She should have asked you to either leave or she should have gone to the bathroom and changed, or to another room for that matter. It doesn't matter. The thing is, she did not ask you or give you a heads up or anything like that. She simply did it without a warning and that's not cool. I would say there are a few places where this is allowed, like for example, a locker room. Now, I think there's a bigger problem at play here, and that is the fact that your friends are giving you grief for making her feel uncomfortable because you were uncomfortable with her being nude and she told you to not sexualize her body because you guys are friends? I know it sounds convoluted, but it's just all kinds of wrong. Imagine if the roles were reversed and you were the one to get naked in front of her and told her not to sexualize your body. This story would be absolutely different and probably the police would have been involved. Or at the very minimum, your friends would not be calling you just an a-hole and would be calling you a lot of different other things. All of that to say, OP, no, you're not the a-hole, your friend was absolutely in the wrong, and your other friends are on the wrong side of this story. What do you guys think? What is your judgment of this situation? Let me know what you think in the comment section, and now let's move on with the community judgments. One Mike Nation says, not the a-hole. I just say this. If a guy whipped out his junk and then said, "Hey, it's okay, you know I'm not attracted to you," it'd be sexual harassment. But because roles are reversed, he shouldn't sexualize her and be comfortable with her nudity. Someone please explain the difference to me. Divine Lavish 16 says, not the a-hole at all. She is. Who undresses in front of someone without even asking? even if they're comfortable. That is weird. Everyone would be giving you crap if you got naked in front of a woman and she told you she was uncomfortable and you still continued to do it. That would be sexual harassment, right? These people are upset a woman got mad that she made you uncomfortable, and I'm sorry for that. Happy Dreamer 23 says, not the a-hole, and your friend seems to be crazy. Or maybe was hoping to spark something with you. Even women do not randomly start changing in front of other women. Does she roam around naked in front of her parents, siblings, etc. since they should not be sexualizing her as well? Please show your crazy friends this thread. Okay, well, the community absolutely agrees that OP is not the a-hole, and if the roles were reversed, it would be sexual harassment. Also, that OP's friends are absolutely in the wrong, and that maybe Mallory had done this to kind of get a response from OP. What do you guys think about that last theory? Anyways, OP has given us 4 updates, and I'm gonna read them all together in one shot. So let's move on with that. Update 1. Okay, so the general consensus seems that both parties could have handled this situation better. So I called Mal and apologized for blowing things out of proportion. Her response? Good. Bro, what the F? Is this even the same person I've been friends with? It's like I'm seeing a totally new side of her. No pun intended. But F it. I swallowed my pride and asked if there was anything she wanted to say to me, and apparently she doesn't. I tell her as calmly as I can that she's being unreasonable and I should not have to see her naked and cover my eyes, and that she can simply tell me to leave the room. Friends or not, I have boundaries. Mallory then effing doubles down, saying that if we were friends and I really don't have a thing for her, it's not that big of a deal, and that she doesn't need to apologize for changing in her own room. Again, what the F? At this point, I just blurred out, friends don't behave the way you do, and hung up on her, because if I stayed on the line longer, I might have said something really stupid. And to add insult to injury, she crowns this day with a text calling me a sexist a-hole. Effing hell. Have I gone crazy? What is so hard to understand about this? I have male friends too, but that doesn't mean I want to see their penises. I'm honestly thinking of never speaking to her after this. Update 2. Well, now that everyone's involved, I had a talk with my other friends and they really came through. Now that I got a chance to explain my discomfort, they are starting to see my point. I also told them that I didn't want to involve them any further, since this is between me and M. Speaking to which, I texted M that I'm really upset she can't see why I felt uncomfortable. I explained that if the roles were reversed, as many of you said, it would be considered harassment. I added that I'm happy she feels comfortable enough to undress in front of me. I just don't happen to feel the same way about it. No response so far, so we'll see. Though honestly, where she's concerned, I'm thinking of cutting my losses at this point, as she won't even meet me halfway, which is what really sold my friends to see my point probably. Update 3. First of all, holy F, I wasn't expecting this to blow up this much. Second of all, thanks for all the support, gang. I thought I was going nuts for a second. And lastly, M got back to me and apologized. I will say this, for the users that predicted that she was into me, bravo. Apparently, she was testing the waters in terms of how much I was into her, because she's had a crush on me for a while. She says she regrets reacting so intensely and that she doesn't actually think I'm an a-hole. She just felt very vulnerable. She apologized and says that she understands what I meant. As for the rest, we'll talk about that in person. I'm still plenty pissed that she was willing to F with my head the way she did, not to mention involving all of our friends. I thought about showing her this post, but I decided not to, as I think that'll just complicate the blame game, so I'ma just talk to her tomorrow. Update 4. For everyone that's worried I'm gonna date her, I'm not. We talked it out and she owned up to her part of the trouble. I told her I never intended to make her uncomfortable about her body, but there are better ways to address a crush. Because we have so many mutual friends, we agreed to still be friends, but I'm keeping one eye open, lol. And that's all we know regarding this situation. Apparently, the people that said that she had a crush on him or she was trying to see what was going on were right, but she went about it in the worst way possible, and when confronted not about the crush but about what she did, well then she just took it to a different level that it shouldn't have gone to. In any case, we are now moving to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's from user Appropriate Act 5378. Am I the a-hole for exposing the real reason why my cousins weren't invited to my wedding? This incident started about 4 years ago, but a recent Am I the a-hole post reminded me of it. A lot of my family had my back, but I don't trust their judgment on a number of things. Background. My 3 cousins, male, 14, 16, and 17 at the time, had a phase where they wanted to be famous YouTube pranksters. They thought they would achieve stardom by posting some really nasty, mean-spirited prank videos. I didn't find out about this until later, but several of their pranks targeted my then girlfriend, now wife, Esther. One of which was swapping out my wife's bacon bits with actual bacon, then secretly recording her as she ate salad with the real bacon bits. Esther doesn't eat pork for religious reasons. Their sister, another victim, leaked the video to us. Our reaction to the video was so visceral, we seriously considered pressing charges on my underage cousins. In the end, we didn't, but we cut off contact with my 3 cousins and their mother, my dad's sister, who acted like it was no big deal. The cousins never apologized for what they did. A few years later, and Esther and I are getting married. We sent out invitations around October 2019. Middle cousin made a post on Facebook calling me out for excluding his family and asking where their invite is. Then he called my wife and I a pair of bigots for disinviting them because he's gay. That is literally how I found out he came out. I had no idea beforehand. Good for him, but that doesn't excuse him for what he and his brothers did. Most of his followers who responded agreed with him and demanded that we invite his family. I felt like I had no choice at the time. I wrote a comment saying something on the lines of, "The reason why you, cousin 1 and 2 and aunt weren't invited was because you turned my wife-to-be into the butt of your immature prank videos and tricked her into eating something her faith bans." Their sister backed me up and shared the video. According to a post middle cousin later made, he got fired from his volunteer job at a teen helpline and had another job offer pulled because the higher-ups saw the video. Something similar also happened to his brothers. Their sister confirmed it. As far as I know, they're unemployed and living with their mom. I really don't know which part pisses me off more. My cousins bullying my wife or lying about it to cover their own tracks at our expense. Most of my family backs Esther and I, but I don't trust their judgment because they have their own reasons to be mad at my aunt and her family. Those guys are in their 20s now and act like the videos were no big deal while blaming Esther, me, and their sister for ruining their lives. Their mom is no help either. Am I the a-hole for setting the record straight and telling everyone the real reason why my cousins weren't invited to my wedding? Okay, OP, here's the deal. You're not the a-hole. Plain and simple. Your cousins? Well, they definitely are. I think the correct term is accountability, right? They are the ones that decided to make those videos to become YouTube famous. Your middle cousin was the one that decided to make a post on Facebook to, I don't know, harness sympathy from followers and get them to force you to invite them. Yeah, like that's gonna work. And then accuse you of homophobia because you didn't invite him. And all you did, like you say, is set the record straight. If their lives went to the crapper because of what they did, well, that's on them. Now, I honestly don't understand why you don't trust your other family members' judgment for not wanting them around because, just like you, they've got reasons not to want them around. Unless the rest of your family sucks just as much as them. So to sum it up, OP, no, you're not the a-hole. Your cousins are, and they got what they had coming. So just forget about them and enjoy your life with Esther. What do you guys think? What is your judgment in this situation? Let me know in the comment section. And now, let's take a look at the community judgments. Blorp Blarp says, not the a-hole. Their own actions came to bite them in the ass as they publicly called your morals into question when they knew they had caused the issue. What you did was the best solution to protect yourself as well, as depending on your workplace, you could be the one unemployed for such a public social black mark. Consistent Leopard 71 says, not the a-hole. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. The fact that they never apologized and then took to social media to bully you and call you homophobic about not being invited to your wedding shows that these are exactly the kind of people you do not want at your wedding or in your life. As for them losing their jobs over their mean-spirited pranks, well, if they had simply called you and apologized for their horrible pranks and had a conversation with you and Esther about the wedding, instead of airing everything on social media, none of this would have happened. DCK133 says, not the a-hole, and I doubt that videos made in their teens are the whole reason why they don't have jobs now. And there you have it, the community absolutely agrees that OP was not the a-hole and that these guys had it coming. So now we are going to move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Today I F'd Up, and it's from user Accomplished Towel. Today I F'd up by ignoring an open window and pouring my heart out to my friend. Please enjoy my cringe. Personally, I'm mortified. I was at uni, sitting and talking with one of my girlfriends about a crush of mine on a balcony. Blabbering on about how much I like this guy, how I've been into him since I met him and how his presence is just nice and comforting, and how I can't for the world figure out if this guy likes me, which he probably doesn't, especially not after listening to me talk like this. So we sit and analyze everything that happened at the gathering we were at. All in the most sappy manner. Terribly, grossly, nonsensically sappy the way only two girlfriends can be. And frankly, I don't know him very well, so it was way over the top. And this is not including all other personal and embarrassing topics. Now, I did notice that in a room besides this balcony there was an open window, but I didn't think too much of it. Regrettably, cue about 10 minutes later. The guy steps out of the room next door with his dad. He gives me the most awkward smile I've ever seen, and I frankly can't tell if he's smiling because he just feels so embarrassed or if he's about to drop to the floor laughing. Either way, I feel really sorry for him. They've heard me ramble on and on about him and all of his actions at this party. How I, being a creep that I am, constantly watched this guy to see if he was watching me and so on. All of the works. Just end my misery. Anyway, I'm currently looking into options involving moving to the other side of the globe and or obtaining a new identity. Change universities, anything really. I probably won't sleep for a week following this level of cringe. I've given up on completing my assignment for tonight because I can't do anything but wallow in this. Oi, OP, yeah, not a nice situation to be in, especially when you exposed yourself this way to the guy that you're interested in without knowing. Now, the way I see it, you've got two choices. You can cringe your way into obscurity and, ghost him or try to not be where he is because you're embarrassed, or you can own this. I would say, why not go up to him and talk to him about it? Poke some fun at yourself, but don't embarrass yourself. This could be an opening to actually knowing if he's into you or not. He may be just shy and knowing this information might overwhelm him a bit, or he might not be into you, but at least you're going to know. What do you guys think OP should do on this one? Let me know in the comment section. And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.